If you ever planned on having an actual life, these games might not be for you. Here's a look at 12 single-player games that will draw you in and make 100+ hours disappear in a blink of an eye. This legendary game isn't just about shooting people in slow motion. It's about watching the world as you know it crumble around you, all while trying to figure out if you're the good guy, or just another crook with good aim. The world itself is absurdly detailed. You'll find yourself sidetracked for hours, fishing, hunting, or casually robbing a train or two. Every inch of the map feels alive, and you'll probably spend more time exploring the wilderness than you will completing the actual storyline. Gunfights? Intense and gritty. You'll feel every bullet you fire and every consequence that comes afterward. If you've got an appetite for a game that quietly siphons away days of your life without you even noticing, Red Dead Redemption 2 is waiting. You'll be stuck in a world that refuses to let go.
Would you just look around you?
80% of players spend hours just exploring the detailed world of Assassin's Creed Origins before even touching the story, and it's pretty easy to see why. In this historical masterpiece, you play as Bayek, a Medjay warrior facing tough times in ancient Egypt. Between revenge quests, political drama, and countless people pleading for his help, it's surprising he has time for anything other than taking down enemies. But don't worry, there's plenty of action. The open world is massive and filled with distractions. Sure, you're supposed to be hunting down your enemies, but why not spend a few hours getting lost in the desert or climbing a pyramid just to say you did? Ancient Egypt is packed with secrets and, of course, the occasional person needing to be handled. Origins isn't your typical button-mashing spree. You'll need actual skill, dodging, parrying, and striking when the moment's right. One wrong move, and suddenly you're being mauled by a lion or beaten down by bandits who clearly skipped polite conversation. As you uncover the origins of the Assassin Brotherhood, you'll be knee-deep in the blood of your enemies, tomb dust, and probably regretting that side quest that led you into a cobra's nest. Egypt's beautiful, but you'll be too busy slashing your way through it to notice. Kingdom Come Deliverance takes you out of the fantasy realm and throws you straight into medieval Bohemia, where your biggest enemies aren't dragons or dark lords, but hunger, disease, and knights with better swords. You play as Henry, a blacksmith's son turned accidental warrior with no chosen one prophecies to fall back on, just your wits and a sword you barely know how to use. The game prides itself on realism, which means if you're thinking of button mashing your way through sword fights, prepare to eat dirt. The combat requires timing, precision, and a whole lot of patience. Basically, the medieval version of getting your butt kicked. The world of Bohemia is huge and historically accurate. From its dense forests to its muddy villages, every corner of the map feels pretty alive, and you'll spend hours just wandering through it, trying not to get lost, or starving, or both. What sets Kingdom Come apart is its dedication to making you feel like you're living in the 1400s. No magic, no shortcuts, just you, your sword, and a bunch of people trying to kill you because they don't like your face. Medieval life, am I right?
I told you how it would end. You should have listened to me.
If you thought your job was weird, think again. Meet Sam Porter Bridges, a guy whose job is essentially being the world's most overqualified delivery man. Except instead of delivering pizza, you're lugging around packages through a post-apocalyptic landscape filled with invisible monsters. And, oh yeah, your backpack has a baby strap to it. Totally normal stuff. The game is all about delivering stuff from point A to point B, but don't let that fool you. Between dodging freaky ghost things, called BTs, balancing 100 pounds of cargo on your back, and trying not to trip over a rock and break everything, the simple task of walking turns into an epic struggle. It's basically an endurance test disguised as a video game. Action? Sure, there's some of that, but it's mostly about avoiding things that want to kill you or steal your packages. This game is more about survival and figuring out what on earth is going on in this bizarre world. And even if the idea of a delivery simulator sounds a bit tedious, it's definitely worth giving this game a try. Why? Well, because it's weirdly captivating, and honestly, you've probably never played anything like it. By the time you've trekked across America with a baby in a jar, you'll either be in love with Death Stranding or questioning every life choice you've ever made. In Dragon Age Inquisition, you're the Inquisitor, big surprise, chosen to lead a ragtag team of warriors, mages, and rogues to save the world from a massive tear in the sky that's literally spilling demons into your backyard. No pressure, right? Along the way, you'll have to navigate political backstabbing, ancient prophecies, and the occasional dragon trying to ruin your day. The real heart of the game is your companions, each with their own quirks, backstories, and, of course, romance options. Whether you're bonding over a campfire or arguing about who should rule the world, they make the journey as unpredictable as it is personal. This massive world is filled with side quests and an endless amount of areas that beg to be explored. Just be prepared to lose track of time because those side quests have a habit of pulling you away from saving the world again and again. By the time you close the last rift, you'll realize the true superpower of Dragon Age is how easily it makes you forget what you were supposed to be doing in the first place. With more than 1,000 NPCs, Night City is one of the most populated open worlds ever created, and every corner is filled with dysfunctional people and shiny tech that'll probably only get you killed. Cyberpunk 2077 throws you into the neon-soaked chaos of Night City, where your cybernetic upgrades are only slightly more dysfunctional than the people around you. You play as V, a mercenary caught between megacorporations, street gangs, and the ghost of a rock star living in your head. Yeah, things get weird fast. The game's open world is massive and packed with details. One moment, you're cruising through glowing city streets on a motorcycle. The next, you're hacking into security systems to pull off a heist. Night City never sleeps, and there's always something pulling you into its gritty, dangerous underbelly. Between the quests, character interactions, and the sheer spectacle of the world, Cyberpunk is a chaotic ride that's as unpredictable as it is addictive. Did you know most players spend over 100 plus hours in Elden Ring and still don't see even close to everything? This game is notorious for its brutal difficulty, but the struggle is glorious, and it's worth every single second of your time. As the Tarnished, a forgotten warrior with a death wish, your one goal, restore the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. Easy, right? Wrong. This game throws you into a world that's designed to kill you, and it's going to do just that. A lot. But hey, at least the scenery is nice. The world of Elden Ring is massive, open, and packed with cryptic lore that you'll piece together between getting ambushed by monsters. Exploration is both beautiful and terrifying. Every hidden path could lead to treasure, or to something that's way too strong for you, but you'll go anyway because curiosity kills the Tarnished repeatedly. Combat is punishing but rewarding. Every fight is a high-stakes puzzle, where every misstep could be your last. But when you finally land that perfect strike after 20 failed attempts, it's like winning the lottery, except with more death. Elden Ring is not for the faint of heart, but for those who love a challenge. It's a brutally beautiful game that will keep you coming back for more punishment. And once you finally conquer it, you'll be wondering if it was worth the emotional damage. Spoiler, it probably was. Hades throws you into the underworld as Zagreus, the rebellious son of Hades, who's just trying to escape his father's hellish kingdom. Literally. But getting out of the underworld isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's more like fighting your way through waves of monsters, dying, and then doing it all over again, and again. Fun, right? The combat is fast, fluid, and merciless. Every run brings new weapons, abilities, and enemies to crush, or be crushed by. One moment you're smashing skeletons with a massive hammer, the next, you're getting wiped out by a boss that'll make you wonder why you even started playing in the first place. But don't worry, every death is just a lesson in getting better. Or at least, that's what you'll keep telling yourself. The writing is sharp and witty, with every character dripping in charm. Yes, even the gods. Whether you're bickering with your dad, Hades, or flirting with death herself, the dialogue keeps you hooked as much as the action. If you're looking for a roguelike that balances frustration with satisfaction, Hades will have you cursing the gods, then thanking them when you finally succeed.
To frustrate his attempts to perhaps map it out.
Welcome to the post-apocalyptic wasteland of Fallout 4, where your mission is simple: find your kidnapped son, and, while you're at it, rebuild society. Or, just wander aimlessly looting everything that isn't nailed down. You emerge from a nuclear bunker, aka Vault 111, to find the world has gone to hell, and naturally, you're going to fix it, or at least blow some stuff up while trying. The Commonwealth is vast, radioactive, and crawling with mutants, ghouls, and raiders. And if they don't kill you, the radiation probably will. But don't worry, you've got power armor, a loyal dog, and a growing arsenal of makeshift weapons to keep you company. The combat in Fallout 4 is both chaotic and strategic. Sure, you can run and gun, but the real satisfaction comes with the VAT system, where you can pause and target specific body parts in slow motion. Whether it's blowing off a mutant's arm or landing a headshot on a raider, VATS turns every fight into a calculated cinematic experience. The explosions, always satisfying. Welcome to Mafia 2, where the American dream involves robbing banks, dodging the cops, and probably getting betrayed by your closest friends. You play as Vito Scaletta, a World War II vet who comes home and thinks, why not join the Mafia? How bad could it be? Spoiler, it's bad, really bad. The story is a classic tale of rising through the ranks of organized crime, except every promotion gets you deeper into a world where loyalty is worth less than a used car. You'll be caught between family, betrayal, and enough double crosses to make your head spin. But hey, at least the cars are cool, right? Empire Bay is a beautifully grimy 1940s city where you'll be running errands for mob bosses, getting in gunfights, and occasionally trying not to get arrested. The shootouts are intense, with each bullet reminding you that you're probably in way over your head. If you've ever wanted to live the life of a mobster, minus the constant paranoia of being whacked, Mafia 2 gives you all the crime, drama, and broken trust you could ever need. Just don't expect a happy ending. This is the Mafia, after all.
God damn it, Joe. Can't you listen to me for once? No.
There's getting lost in a game, and then there's Skyrim, the game from 2011 that somehow refuses to die. Ever wondered why it's still dominating every best open world list? Well, when a game lets you spend hours chasing butterflies, while the fate of the world hangs in the balance, you know you're on to something special. This epic adventure has set the bar so high that even after more than a decade, developers are still trying to figure out how to top it. What makes Skyrim so endlessly addictive? Simple, you're the Dragonborn, chosen to save the world, but why bother when you could just as easily be collecting flowers or accidentally stealing a sweet roll? Priorities, right? The real magic of Skyrim is the freedom to do whatever you want. Want to be an unstoppable warrior? Go ahead. Prefer sneaking around in the shadows, picking pockets? Sure. Or maybe you want to become a powerful wizard and accidentally burn down half a village. It's all possible. The sheer variety of ways to play is part of the reason you'll easily sink an embarrassing amount of time into this game. And let's not forget about the modding community, the real heroes of Skyrim. Thanks to them, this game has more lives than a cat. Skyrim becomes a game with no real end. The modding community has created everything from new lands to explore. to visual upgrades that make the game look like it was released yesterday. The possibilities are literally endless, which is why people are still playing this game over a decade later. Okay, be honest. What's more important, saving the world or winning a round of Gwent? In The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, you play as Geralt of Rivia, a grizzled monster hunter who can't seem to go 5 minutes without getting dragged into someone else's mess. Sure, you're supposed to be searching for your adopted daughter, but there's always a new village that needs saving, a monster that needs slaying, or a card game of Gwent that's just too tempting to ignore. The world is massive and morally gray, where even your best intentions can blow up in your face. Every choice has consequences, though sometimes those consequences are, well, questionable at best. And while the main quest is pretty epic, it's the side quests that'll really suck you in, whether it's hunting down a missing goat or deciding the fate of entire kingdoms. The Witcher 3 offers an enormous world packed with danger, mystery, and enough content to make you forget real life exists. Just remember, Geralt's moral compass is as broken as yours will be after 100 hours of choices. But let's be honest, you'll probably spend more time mastering Gwent than saving the world. If we missed one of your favorites, drop it in the comments.